In today's episode of Love Hacks, I want to talk about a sentence I hear all the time, just in different wording. I'm just unlucky in love. People always leave. I only attract the wrong type of person. It sounds like bad luck. It even sounds like a curse. But most of the time, it's not fate. It's a pattern. And the uncomfortable part is that we don't choose partners from our wish list. We choose partners based on our self-image. You don't date based on what you want. You date based on who you secretly believe you are. So we're going to cover why you keep ending up with the same person in a different body. How your body says yes or no before your mind does. Why waiting for the universe to send you love is not a strategy. And what it actually looks like to become someone love can reach and stay with. If you've ever thought, maybe I'm the problem, or maybe love just isn't for me, keep listening, because this one's for you.
Hi, this is Michaela. How are you?
I'm doing good. I had a pretty good Valentine's Day, hung out with friends. What about you, Michaela?
It was fine too. I just went to dinner. It wasn't a big deal. We went to eat some Thai food, which was pretty good. But it was also my father's in-law birthday, so it wasn't like a real Valentine's Day, but it was pretty fun.
Okay, well, and Thai food is delicious, folks.
Absolutely. I love it.
I love it too. It's delicious. Anyhow, well, what's the topic today, Michaela?
Oh, today's topic is so romantic. We're talking about love and how to find love this year. I know it's a kind of a repetitive thing, but we all want love and find love, right?
Yes, indeed we do. So what we're going to talk about is, okay, ways to find love, but going in with a positive mindset, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, you can't just say the word. You have to build your confidence, okay? Don't self-blame yourself, Get away from that. If you've been in a recent relationship and it ended, yes, it takes time to recover, and but don't blame yourself entirely.
Oh no, you cannot, because one thing is for sure: if a relationship didn't work, not everything was because of you. I mean, you have some parts, of course, that you're responsible for, but not all the story is your fault. So you cannot go into dating someone else with that idea in your head that you are the one who screwed things up in the relationship. Maybe you are part of it, but the other person has responsibility about it. So it's important to acknowledge what you did wrong, but not to pretend or think that everything that happens is going to happen again because you didn't the right thing in the past relationship. Actually, I think that you have to go with another mentality and own your problems and get the experience to do better in the next one.
Yeah. Don't self-sabotage. Own what you did wrong, but don't be talking about it 24/7.
Yeah.
And don't continue to self-sabotage. You don't want to do that, because that's going to block your energy and won't keep you open. Again, breakups are hard, right? You can't just drop one person and start something with another. That's not healthy.
No,
Would
at
you?
all.
No.
And I don't think that you have to go into another relationship thinking that things are not going to work, because if you do that, it's highly possible that things are not going to work out, because you still kind of attracting that kind of behavior in your life. You know, it's like I don't know if you read or you heard about that book called for the four
Agreement?
forces or agreements or something like that, that
Yeah,
they talk about things that you carry and you kind of call in your life.
yes.
And
You
I
attract
do
it.
not really believe in that kind of stuff, but in somehow they are not all always wrong, because I think that if you have a negative way of seeing life, you're gonna attract more negative people in your life.
Yes.
But if
That
you
is
are a positive kind of mind, it's possible that you are going to end up with more positive people around you, because you get away from people that have a negative energy. So I think that if you are in a good kind of spirit and thinking that you can have a good relationship with the right set of mind, like um, thinking that that is the kind of relationship that I want and how I can work in myself to get that kind of relationship, it's going to be easier for you to get there.
yeah. Yeah, it's wonderful when you hear, it's not that they have to be like the Flanders on The Simpsons, no. But, you know, when you hear some positive stories, and I have one friend, I love her so much. She fills me with joy because she's a very positive person, and it rubs off. I have other friends that mope a lot. I love them, but they do mope. And there are times you can mope. Of course, we're human, right? But if you, again, if you've just ended something, I had to tell one friend, I love her very much as well, but I told her, okay, you just ended something with this dude, and you're now dating this other one, and then that didn't go well, and then she didn't give herself 24 hours, and now she's got another one, and she's already had several spats, and
Mm-hmm.
I told her, I said, you have to lay low, I mean, it hurts to break up, but trying to get a substitute, it's just not convenient. It's better to, okay, I've broken up, all right, I'm going to read a new book, I'm going to do more exercise, I'm going to hang out with fun friends, have some laughs, I'm going to watch a cool series, channel your energy,
Yeah.
as opposed to thinking, oh, why did this happen, and why aren't we together, and why, this is, you're just consuming yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why what we are saying and talking about this matter, because I don't know if you notice, but a lot of times we kind of attract the same kind of people. So, what I mean is, how many of you are always saying, why I'm always ending up with someone who is abusive? And you're, why am I always, even if I try not to, I'm always ending up with someone who is abusive and maybe is gonna hurt you, and it's always a pattern. Why is always a pattern? So I think, and the way I see things is that that kind of people have an energy and a way to talk to you and treat you that sounds familiar and feels familiar. So you feel, oh, this is familiar, this is good for me, because that's what I knew, that's what I know it, that's what I want, because that makes me feel okay. But at the end of the day, it's not okay, because you are always ending up with the same kind of people. So I think it's I don't know if it's about energy, about a kind of psychological kind of thing that you have, so you attract that kind of people. But I think that there's something in us that make us feel like, oh, I know that. So it's like, oh, it's familiar, so I know how it is. It's good for me. But not all the time what we know, it's good for us. Not because it's familiar, it's good for us. So we have to change that mindset and see exactly what kind of things that we want. I mean, if we are a kind of person who has very low boundaries and we let people hurt us, we are going to attract that kind of people all the time because that's what we know. But if we know that that's not what we want, maybe we have to find someone who make us feel more than butterflies because it sounds familiar, and see actually what kind of people make us feel good and safe and protected. And not because it's familiar, because we are actually seeing with facts that this person is actually protecting us and make us feel okay and safe, and not just anxiety or all the rushes in what we like about a relationship is all the rush that we might feel and all the fireworks that this person might us feel. But I think that we have to go further than that to see if this person really make us feel okay. How this person make me feel after I'm not with this person, because we were on a date. How I feel. Am I feeling anxious? Am I feeling bad? Am I feeling tired? Am I feeling exhausted? Am I feeling like very nervous or scared? Or why I'm feeling so excited? It's because I'm feeling butterflies, because that's the kind of behavior that I know, or because this person showed me doing something that I didn't expect it, that I'm gonna be okay with him or her, because for the first time someone is making me feel safe in a different way, and maybe go there and see why I'm feeling differently with this person.
Yeah, I agree. And look, the best feeling is a feeling of, hey, like if you're just starting a relationship, hey, this person makes me feel peace. I'm at peace. I'm good. I'm not sweating bullets. I'm not thinking, oh, this person is now going to go on another date after me, type of thing. You have to have a feeling of success. Like, this is at the beginning of dating. And during the relationship, I mean, if it goes beyond that, if that person brings you anxiety, where you're thinking, okay, why, like, I'm not being irrational. Why isn't this person behaving the same way they were a couple of weeks ago? And you're like, okay, let it go. But then it keeps happening. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. Obsess over it. Take a step back and think, okay, this person that is pulling away but be objective. Don't imagine things either. Okay.
Yeah.
Notice the behavior of the person, they used to come by and visit you frequently, and then they stopped doing that after they went to an event. I'm throwing things. So just without obsessing, because obsession can also make you sick. Like, don't be obsessive. See what is, right? And by the way, guys, going a bit off on a tangent, I'm going to recommend you guys a new series about a relationship that's developing. It's called Heated Rivalry, okay? It's a good series. I'm watching it, and yep, highly recommend it. It is, in this case, yes, it's about gay attraction, but there's a lot of hockey in it too. And you see the chemistry, well, not even chemistry, the way these people start to understand each other, but they go through a lot of obstacles, right? So it's interesting to watch. It's entertaining, and again, there's a lot of ice hockey in it.
Okay. Another thing that maybe we should ask ourselves when we are with someone, right, is what kind of history or sentence we always repeat when we are with our friends and feeling, that kind of talk that you have with your besties when something is wrong. And, not the pretty part of the story, but the sad ones, right? When you are talking with your friends, like, oh, I don't know what's going on, and maybe see what kind of story is repeating in your life. And when you see that pattern, when you're talking with your friends about the relationship, what is that thing that always repeats in your life? And you're talking with your friends at 2 a.m. in the morning, maybe, or 3 o'clock, or you're asleep over because you don't want to be alone and you want to talk about it. What is that thing that you're always repeating? And try to understand why it's always repeating in your life. And then try to change that pattern.
Exactly. Don't be blaming yourself or self-sabotaging, because you're attracting that negative energy. We're people, we have ups and downs, but if you continuously repeat the negative part, well, it's gonna stick. It's gonna stick, and you have to think, okay, we all make, like, if you feel bad about a recent relationship, I'm human, we all make mistakes. I'm a little sad, but it's not all my fault.
Yeah,
It's don't be like, oh, it's always me. Yeah, I suck at love, because then if you get somebody interested, they'll probably be one of those people that are gonna bring out the worst in you, etc. You want to neutralize, and this is why activities are so important.
Yeah, and if you are able to understand which kind of people are you pursuing and why, or why you tolerate that kind of behavior or stuff like that, or why it's always happening to me that I'm never the one who is breaking up and they always breaking up with me and stuff like that. If you are able to understand that and why it's happening to you, you will be able to change that. Because if you don't know why, it's going to be very hard to change it.
Yeah. And another thing I want to bring up, Michaela, is, okay, a lot of people have this, they build up these fantasies thanks to rom-coms and romances, like The Notebook, or,
the movie love.
Yeah, the movie love. And so you want to have that happen in your life, and meaning that you're going to meet somebody in another country, or that you're going to bump into
the love of your life in a bar or something.
Yeah. The truth is, usually the way most people meet and hook up and everything is because they see each other
constantly.
Yeah, like through events, maybe like a sports event, or going to church,
or reunions with friends, or
mosque or whatever. I mean, I got into religion, but also if you're Muslim, the mosque, or going to the same gym, or school, and then you reunite, school reunion. I mean, or at work. It doesn't happen like, oh, I saw you, you're from another country and I was visiting your country, and usually that doesn't happen. It can happen. It can, but it's not the
norm.
Common thing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not commonplace. So get that idea out of your head.
Well, that's why we always know, for example, when people are working a lot in a place, let's see, doctors, for example.
Mm-hmm.
For doctors, it's very, very hard to find people who are not working at the hospital or do not go to the hospital. I mean, it happens, but that's why a lot of doctors end up marrying doctors. Because most of the time in their lives, they are where? At the hospital. Or a lot of people met where? Well, when they are in college. Why? Because they spend a lot of the time in college. And that's why we know that a lot of people end up marrying their college friend, or or people who they met with in a party with friends that they see kind of often, and in that party they met someone in that party because they have friends in common. For example, maybe you didn't know that that person is gonna be the love of your life, but you met that person because this person was a friend in common, and you end up seeing this person at the party, and then you see this same person at the other party, or maybe it was one party, but you kind of talk and you kind of exchange phones, and then you decided to go to another party with the same friends and stuff like that. That's a kind of pattern that you have to.
Yeah, you have to look at it exactly. Yeah. I mean, and don't close yourself. I mean.
Yeah.
And how can you bump into people that way? Well, yes, hobbies, special communities,
the coffee shop at the corner of your house,
or I mean, if it's supposed to happen, it will, but you need to relax your way. And if it's not supposed to happen, it won't. But again, it's better to be alone than get with somebody who might feel familiar but is not necessarily healthy. And
yeah, because maybe that familiarity is not because of the right reasons that it's gonna be the right person.
Exactly. You can feel familiar with a person
because this person has the same pattern that you've been there before a lot of times, and that's why that sounds familiar, and you're like, oh, that's the one I like. No, you are following the same pattern. But what you just said is true. It's very hard to meet someone somewhere when you don't spend a lot of time at that place. I mean, how many of us can start meeting people because we all go to the same kind of coffee shop, and we kind of see this person a lot of the time when we are going to the coffee shop. And this person is maybe working in his computer, and you're doing the same thing, and that's why you go there, because it's quiet and you can work. But if you obviously see this person 3 times a week, it's gonna maybe almost sure about that. I'm almost sure about that. You at some point this person is gonna say hi to you, or you're gonna say hi to this person, because this person, even if you haven't talked to this person, you're like, oh, I'm always seeing this person. Hi, how are you? It's nice to see you again. And it's a normal thing because you are seeing this person every other day.
Yeah, well, I'm going to bring this up from this series I'm watching. I think it's episode 3, and this famous hockey player, he goes to a coffee shop, exactly. To get it's not coffee. He gets a not a milkshake, just some sort of vitamin shake or something.
A smoothie or something.
The guy working there is attractive also. And I mean, here we're being very superficial, but he there's some click there, and so he keeps going to get the juice, and they have healthy conversations. Now, obviously, yes, they did look at each other and they liked each other, but they got to know each other through the shakes and stuff, and then they decided to go on a date and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it didn't happen. It wasn't a one-night stand, which, unless you're into that, folks, one-night stands, well, they're pretty forgettable, right? I mean, you come to an age where it's like, okay, one night, big deal, If you're into that, well, You're into that, and that's your choice. And I'm not saying it's bad, but here what we're getting at is for people who want to really find love, they're not going to be doing the one night stand, because that's easy come, easy go, and that's it, right? The mystery is over. So, if you're looking for love, you're not going to fall into that one night stand trap. You're going to take it easy. You're going to go more slowly. And yeah, I'm liking this series because of that. The guy goes and gets his juices from there, and they're flirting, but in a very healthy way. And that, going back to familiar versus healthy, like, if you're used to a guy coming on to you from the get-go, and they're all fuzzy-wuzzy, even though they've just broken up with someone else, you should not reject them, not be defensive, but put on your glasses and see what is. Okay, this guy just broke up with a person.
Okay.
So this guy, even though maybe he chose to break up with this person and wanted to get out of the relationship, still there should be some period of, okay, I did it, because if he shared something with that other person, the last thing you want is for that person, the guy, to bring in stuff from the other relationship. And unfortunately, some people, they ignore that. They're like, well, he broke up with her, so now he's ready for me. Well, don't go so quickly. Like, let the guy, because remember, I'm speaking from a female perspective. If you've broken up or you were dumped or you think you provoked something, don't just jump into something else, because you're vulnerable.
You need time to heal.
Yeah, take your time. You can talk with people, but one person doesn't substitute the other. Like, you can't break up with one person on Friday and go to a party on Saturday and meet a person there and start dating them on Sunday.
Because you think that this person is going to heal every single wound that you have. And that happens a lot with people who doesn't know how to be alone. It happens a lot. That kind of people are like, okay, I don't know how to be alone, so my life is over because I feel bad because I am alone. But suddenly they find someone who smiles at them, and this person smiled at me. I think she's into me. So I have to try to be with this person, and you end up with this person, but you don't realize that person is the same kind of people that you were dating before that, because the person you have in front of you is another person who doesn't know how to be alone. So they want to be with someone. So it doesn't matter if it's a good relationship for you or the good one for you or the correct one for you. You are going to end up with someone who is wrong for you, but it's going to make you feel good because you are not looking for a relationship or a good relationship for you. You are just trying to fulfill an empty space that you don't know how to live with because you don't know how to be alone and you are scared to be alone, and so you will end up maybe years with the wrong person because this person is afraid to be alone as much as you. So you are not going to really have boundaries because you need this person to stay with you, and you're going to tolerate a lot of things that you shouldn't because you don't want to be alone.
Yeah, and I know many cases. And, it might hurt to think, hey, for example, somebody who stands you up, for example, repeatedly, but you're in a relationship with them and you let it slide for years. You let it slide. And at the end of the day, that person doesn't change, and you're already growing bitter even because this person stands you up consistently. Well, then you're going to look back and say, okay, I'm fed up. That's it. I'm out of here. But you have already spent 3 years of your precious life tolerating these stand-ups because you didn't want to lose the person. But
Yeah.
this is not cool. I mean, and it's time. Remember, guys, money comes and goes, but time never comes back. You never recover time. So even if you've had to terminate something, if you miss the person, I've been there, like I have, and it's really hard at first. You're like, shit, why did I, if I had only been more tolerant. But then you start filtering and you think, okay, what do I remember about this relationship? And you can't just focus on the happy moments, because the relationship ended for a reason. You have to look at what affected you. Okay, this person, left me hanging a few times. This person did not prioritize me. And then you start thinking and you're like, okay, that's why it ended. So I'm not in the wrong, But if you keep in that cycle, to tolerate things, before you know it, you'll be gray, and you'll still be in that situation, and you won't feel happy, even if there's fireworks chemistry, because that's a big danger. A lot of people go for the fireworks.
Yeah.
So I feel, they want to feel that, and they find the calmer people boring, right, Michaela? I mean, there's tons of people that go for fireworks.
Exactly. And that's what I was saying earlier in the podcast. Like, you need to see who you have in front of you, because maybe the fireworks makes you feel better because this person is showing you something that you know, like what we said. It sounds familiar, it looks familiar, and I feel comfortable. And so because I feel comfortable, that's the right person, right? No, maybe that's why I told you need to see what are you feel after seeing this person. Okay, I went to a sorry, I went to a date and I feel anxious after that. Is a person who is supposed to be with you make you feel anxious? Or this person, after you seeing this person, you should feel that you are happy and in peace because this person is not making you feel anxious. What is the better thing for you? Nobody wants to feel anxious. But if the other person you went to, maybe you think this person is boring, but you feel at peace and you feel comfortable and happy after, maybe you should go with the person who makes you feel happy, at peace, and not with the person who is making me feel horribly anxious because this person is not calling me again and didn't call me maybe in the past few weeks or days, I don't know. So at the end of the day, you have to be aware about how you feel after being with this person and why are you feeling this way. Another thing that I want to be clear, when we were talking about people who end up with the same kind of people, or the people who are like, oh, I just broke up with someone and I need to be with someone, and maybe this person spent 10 years with the wrong person, but it was better than being alone, and then they broke up, and then 2 weeks later they are dating someone and they spend 6 months with this person, and then they break up, and then the next week they are going out with someone else and dating this person. I can assure you guys that the two people that was dating, that person was dating, were the same kind of people.
Looking for real conversations about love, connection, and everything in between? Listen to Love Hacks. Honest, heartfelt, and in 4 languages: English, Espanol, Francais, and Portuguese. Find your version wherever you get your podcast. See you soon.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And that person didn't give him or herself the time to take a breather,
No, because they don't know how to be alone.
ending a relationship and starting one a day later, a week later. No, I mean, it's not kosher. It's not right.
healthy.
It's not healthy because you're basing yourself purely on what you think is chemistry. Because that's the other thing.
Yeah, and you don't want chemistry, and that's why I'm telling you, when you end up with someone who doesn't know how to be alone, and you see the pattern, and they always kind of end up with the same kind of people, is because first of all, they don't know themselves. They don't know what they want. They are not looking for love, but to be comfortable, and mostly because they need someone to make all the work for them. What I'm saying is they need someone to make them cover all the wounds without them making the work that they need.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, like I said, I do know somebody like that. I have tried to advise this person in a very, subtle way, but the person, what I see as a person who knows this other person, is she's incredibly needy, and it shows. It shows, folks. And she's a very nice person, but this neediness, it does come off as weakness.
Yeah.
People take advantage of her.
Yeah, and the problem with that kind of people, and I'm saying that they are bad people, but they need to work on themselves, because when you go into the relationship hoping that someone is gonna make you feel happy, make you feel protected, make you feel at peace, make you feel blah 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 blah, etc., etc. Guys, it doesn't work like that. You won't find peace if you don't know how peace is without anyone. Your peace is in you. You have to find it, and you have to find someone who is not destroying your peace after you've been with this person. What I'm saying is, when we said you have to be with someone who makes you feel happy and at peace, it means that you already know how to be in that mental state of mind, and you need to be with someone who is not going to alter that situation. A person who wants to be with you and is asking you to make all the work for them, and is, oh, I'm with you because I thought you will make me feel happy, and you make me feel protected, and you are going to make me feel at peace, and you're like, no, that's not my job. My job is to not alter your state of happiness or of peace or whatever it is. But it's not my job to make you feel happy. You're the only one who can be happy, not me. I mean, I'm not the owner of your peace. You have to find your peace. And my job is to let you feel happy without making you angry, anxious, and, go in there and make waves in your life. I'm not supposed to change your way to see life because I need you to make me feel better. No, that's not my job. My job as a partner is to make you feel safe, because I am not actually I don't have the obligation of doing the work that you need to do in yourself. What I'm saying is, if I want to be happy, I need to learn by myself how to be happy. If I want to be at peace with the world, it's in me to find that peace and share it with you, not to get your peace away. Because if I'm a happy person and I feel happy, and I don't need someone who is going to make me feel angry or anxious all the time, because I was fine. So
That's
a
right.
person who is at peace and suddenly is with someone who is going to make a drama for everything and single moment because the way he lives or the way he feels or the way whatever is not what he expected, maybe the problem is not you. Maybe the person is that person who doesn't know how to be happy. And that person, instead of making you feel happy and okay with everything, is going to your life, making drama, and what is taking away your peace. Because when he's not here or she's not here, you're fine. But when he or she comes home, it's altering everything.
Yeah, or there's the person that's the avoidant, a person who suddenly says stuff that is like a red flag, but they avoid the topic. You have to be a good listener. Like, people do give signs of who they are from the get-go, really.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of us tend to idolize we idealize, a new relationship, but the person, once they start talking, listen closely. Because, for example, if they tell you that they cheated on their previous partner, what makes you so sure they won't do it to you? Right? If they openly admit after a couple of dates, I cheated. That is a red flag. And a lot of us choose to ignore that and say, oh, but it's not going to happen to me. Listen, let the person talk.
And watch closely, because that's not only what they say, it's what they do.
Also, yeah, well, this one, some say it, some you, exactly, as Michaela's saying, body language. Also, if you're, and this is I'm mentioning this because the other day I opened up TikTok and every other video was about these women finding out that their partners were on Tinder and dating other men. And I saw one of a lady, this one was really funny. This woman, she tracked her boyfriend on Tinder. I don't know how, okay, but she wasn't even spying on him. It just popped up on her phone. She's like, oh, what's he doing there? Some restaurant in the evening. She goes there, and there he is with another much younger woman. And she says, what are you doing? He said, it's a business meeting, right? And she's like, oh, yeah, so you're having alcohol at this business meeting. And then he goes completely over. He says, this is very inappropriate. And she's like, he's right there with this other, and they were sitting next to each other. And yeah, they were having alcohol, and it was late at night. So that's why I'm bringing this up. The actions, I'm not saying be paranoid, just watch, and if they do reveal that they've done that before, listen closely, because
but what I'm trying to say is not about body language, it's about what they do. If they do that, they are doing something, and at the end of the day, they're the way they are, you observed in, you see that what they say do not match with what they do.
Yes,
it's talking. Yeah. It's even harder, because when things doesn't match, because we know that words can be words, come and go, but facts are facts. Yeah. And one person is telling you something, but what they do doesn't match what they say, they are telling you a lot more with their facts than with their words.
Yes.
So that's why I'm telling you, watch what they do too.
Yeah, in your face. Like, for example,
it's not what you think. But I was kissing this person. It's not what you think. Yeah, whatever. It is what I think. It's not what it looks like. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, I think we're going to wrap up with this last mentioning of standards. It's always good to have standards, not illogical standards like, oh, I hope this guy buys me a golden toilet. The way Jennifer Lopez got a gold toilet from Ben Affleck, apparently. Okay. No, it's not about that sort of standard, but standards should happen right at the beginning, because if you allow things to slide, from the get-go, then if you engage in a serious relationship with that person later and you let those things slide, then by the time you want to set some boundaries, well, it'll be too late. It's not going to work. And then maybe, the person will say, what's your problem? Right? Standards, look, if you're a logical person and you're asking for things like, hey, I'd like sexual fidelity while we're dating. Meaning, I don't want you sleeping around with 25 women, whenever you feel like it. If that person doesn't says, or oh, don't worry about it, they're not acknowledging it, that's a red flag, because you're saying, hey, I want to protect my body. I don't want to end up with gonorrhea or something like that.
Yeah.
Around, right? Because yes, some people say, what about open love? Now, if you're a person that is totally fine with, hey, sometimes the body can't resist itself and you engage in, and maybe you do the same, like in open marriages, hey, more power to you. If you like that and you and your partner talk about that, fine. But if you're a person who, while they're dating the same person, they ask for that, make sure that that person agrees, because if they just let it blow with the wind, as Michaela said, that means they're not going to be faithful. Or this, you never know. That is the lamest answer ever. It sucks.
As we always say in this podcast, boundaries are the most important things in relationships. And it doesn't mean that you have to change your and make your partner have the same boundaries than you are, and accepting what is important for you and has to be the most important for them. No, it meaning that you have to respect each other's boundaries. What I'm saying is, you know what, I like to spend, let's say, since my dad died, I like to spend all the holidays with my mom because I don't want to spend the last Christmas like the last one that I decided that I didn't want to spend it with my family, and now my dad is dead and I feel like crap every time. You have to tell them that. And if this person doesn't want to spend all the holidays, but he respects that you have to, well, you have to respect the idea that he might or she might go spend holiday with his family too, and you're not going to be there together. And it's okay, because he understands that how important is that for you. But it doesn't make it bad, it doesn't make it wrong or whatever. It's a boundary that you need. It's important for you. You have to be there because you feel so guilty for the last time you didn't spend that holiday, that you don't want this thing to happen to you again. It's okay, but you have to tell them. And the way you're gonna say that, it's the most important thing, because if you telling this person like you are arguing or defending yourself or making an argument about it, that it's not the way it's gonna be a boundary. But if you tell these people, oh, for me it's very important in holidays because that happens to me, and I can leave that kind of situation again in my life because I feel like crap since. It's a totally different way to tell things, and the way you are talking about your boundaries, it's gonna change a lot in your relationship.
Exactly, but remember that happens right at the beginning. That's why I was mentioning the thing. You don't say all those things after 6 months of
or 2 years or 5 years or 6 months. You don't have you have to tell that in the beginning. It's very important. So guys, if this is helping you and you know people who need that kind of advice, please send this podcast to this person.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a lot of people who are lost, and we're trying to help, and it's to protect your well-being, your mental health, So yeah, guys, we wish you a wonderful week, and
We'll see you next time.
yes, and send our podcast around to those who you feel need it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.